Hey, what is up you guys? My name is Catherine and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a tutorial of the eye look I did in my video last week of my top 10 best products under $10. This video was actually requested by my subscriber Laura, so thank you so much Laura for the request. I love getting requests from you guys. So I am using the Makeup Revolution Iconic Neutrals 2 palette for this look. This is a $7 eyeshadow palette and it is the bomb.com. I talked about it in my video last week, so I won't rave too much, but I'm excited to show you guys it in action. And then I originally used one of my Stila liquid eyeshadows for this look as well, but I realized it's super annoying to use a $25 single eyeshadow product with a $7 eyeshadow palette, so I did one eye using that product and one eye using a affordable dupe for that product, so hopefully that makes up for it. Sorry guys. But yeah, that is it. I hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial. I love doing tutorials and I'm so glad one was requested. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and let's get started. Brows are done, eyes are primed. I used the Milani Eyeshadow Primer and ColourPop No Filter Concealer set down with ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder. So when I originally did this look, I was actually testing out the AOA Studio 10-piece All About Eyes brush set. So that's what I'm going to be using today. So to start out, I'm going into this shade right here in the Makeup Revolution Iconic Neutrals 2 palette. These shades do not have names on them. And I'm going in on my AOA Studio E127 brush. So I'm going in very, very lightly at first. I'm even tapping off the excess, and you're just going to use super light brush strokes, super light, to lay this down as your transition shade. Next, on that same brush, I'm going into this darker brown shade in the palette on that same AOA Studio E127 palette. So this is sort of tapered at the top, so you're really going in with just the actual tip of the brush. Literally just the tip. And you can see, if it'll focus, that darker color is only on the center of the brush. So you're going to use that to deepen your crease and give you that sort of cut crease definition, since we are going to be doing a half cut crease. So since you want more of a defined line, you're really just going back and forth. You're not spending a whole lot of time doing circular motions to blend this down. So once that is laid down, we are going to be going into these two shades. This is a pinkish red matte color, and then I'm just ever so slightly going into this orange color to make this a little more red and a little less pink. And I'm going into that on an AOA Studio E130 brush. It's very dense and it's almost flat on top, but it has just the slightest bit of roundness to it. So we're mostly going in to this color, and then just slightly dipping into that orange and then back in. So this is going on the outside only of our eye. You're not blending this over at all, only the outer corner. So I'm really taking the time to build up this color. I'm sort of packing it but then swiping out, if that makes sense. Once the desired intensity of color has been reached, you're going to go back into your AOA Studio E127 or any comparable brush that you have in your collection. You're going to blend this at the edge, only blending it out, not blending it over. Next, I'm going into this shimmer shade right in the center here. I know I said that the shimmers in this palette weren't great, but this is actually a pretty good shimmer. Probably my favorite one in the palette. And I'm going into that on an AOA Studio E131. This is just your typical flat concealer brush. We're placing that shadow in sort of a half cut crease pattern. Since we are going to be placing a liquid eyeshadow over this, I'm not concerned about wetting the brush for intense pigmentation or anything. So now it's time for the liquid shadows, my favorite thing in the whole world. So for the original side, aka the more expensive side, I'm using the Stila Shimmer and Glow liquid eyeshadow in the shade Kitten. So when I use these, I make sure to scrape off most of the excess product because I don't want to be working with too much product. And then I'm just going over exactly where I placed that eyeshadow. And I'm just tapping this out slightly at the edge. It'll make it easier to blend powder eyeshadow over into that. On the less expensive dupe side, I'm using my Essence Metal Shock eyeshadow in Stars and Stories. I swapped most of my affordable liquid eyeshadows over top of the Shimmer Peachy shade on my arm, and this is the one that had the most similar effect. This is more of a pinky metallic shade with some silver sparkle in it, so it's not going to be the exact same, but it's the closest that we're going to get. And I'm just doing the same thing on this eye. Okay, on camera, these actually look so similar. In person, you can definitely tell that this one is more gold than pink, but the effect is really similar actually, so I'm really happy with how that turned out. I'm just gonna again tap out this edge, and I'm giving these a moment to dry. Okay, moment has passed. We're going back in with that AOA. Did y'all hear that? Going back in with that AOA Studio 130, that flat topped brush, into those same two colors that we put in the outer corner, and we're just adding some intensity and blending into the liquid shadow. And then to add some more definition to that crease, I'm going back into that darker brown shade on an AOA Studio E132. This is a very teensy round brush, great for detail work. And I'm just lining that crease line. And then you're just going to go over the top part of that with a floofy brush to make sure that there are no harsh lines at the top of your eyeshadow. So that's actually it for the top part of my eyes. I'm going to go throw some under eye concealer on, and then we're going to do the under eye. Spoiler alert, it's just one color with a small brush, but I'll be right back. So I accidentally just put loose highlighter all over my face because I thought the Laura Mercier Illuminating Mineral Powder was a setting powder and not a highlighter. Please just ignore that happening on my face right now. That was so dumb. Anyways, let's finish this up. We're going into these two shades one last time on a teensy weensy little brush. This is the AOA Studio E134. This is just a cute little pointed liner brush, and you're just gonna line your under eye with that. And then you're just going to add your inner eye highlight of choice. Mine for today is ColourPop Flexitarian. Big shocker there. And then I'm going to do liner and mascara off camera, so I will be right back. Tale as old as time. I cannot get the inner corner of my lashes to completely stick down, or it is absolutely driving me insane right now. And Charlotte is playing with my blinds in the background, so just bear with me for this outro. But this is the final eye look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that this eye look was a good enough recreation of last week's video for you guys. Thank you again, Laura, for the suggestion. I really do love getting video suggestions and requests from you guys. So if you have any, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this tutorial, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It actually really does help me out. And that is it. I will see you guys in my next video.